Hey peeps.
Hello.
Sorry we missed a week. We missed you guys.
We had a sick kid and I guess kind of a sick mommy from nursing the sick kid. A fried mommy anyway.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite.
And then this week we got run out of our house because of paint fumes because I'm trying to do some painting, and so we're not at our regular spot, so that's kind of why it looks weird and different. But anyway, and that's probably why I look like trying to put toothpicks in my eyes, keep them open, right? So, but August is almost over. It's winding down to the last little bit, and then our offers for free couples coaching is still open, and nab it while you can. But tonight we wanted to speak, I guess, just ask some questions and just kind of maybe take a temperature and see where you are together as a couple, emotionally, I guess more centered around emotional intimacy. And what does emotional intimacy look like? And I know we touched on that last time a bit, right?
A little bit, like clues to what what looks like you are emotional intimate or what you are not.
So, you wanna start? What was one of the things? I mean, like, do you feel indicators, I guess, of lack of emotional intimacy, and if so, there is hope, and we'd love the opportunity to walk through those, walk through that with you, or at least start the journey with you, because it's a journey, finding emotional intimacy with your spouse, finding emotional intimacy with your best friend, the one that you should, that hopefully is your best friend, hopefully the one that you're married that for life. And
I guess that can be your first temperature, like, do you really feel like best friends? Because I know I sure didn't,
that's
I didn't
good.
feel safe enough to be best friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of that had to do with both of us having a lot of defense mechanisms still in our hearts and lives, and I guess just that not feeling safe and accepted with each other.
So do you feel defensive, like when you have to work something out, whether it be money matters, whether it be vacation? Money. I think money was a big one for us,
and we still have to work through triggers around it. But
sure, but wouldn't you say that wouldn't you say that we're able to work through them together?
Right. Yeah.
Like more intimately.
We're able to talk about it. We're not just feeling our feelings and letting that separate us.
Early on, like vacation, and that was a big one, wasn't it? Time with our extended families, and who got what, or how it looked like, or they were coming, and what that looked like, and what they couldn't do. So I mean, just a lot of tension there. So
and interactions with extended families, like you do this with your family versus even what you do with me.
So it's not fair, because you do this, but you don't do that with mine, or that kind of thing.
Or this person is more important in your family than me sometimes because of this, that, or the other. Right. Which those are definite indicators that you are not emotionally full, you're not emotionally safe with each other.
And you're not emotionally stable as a couple. And operating out of your own home, in your own household. Because
today, there are still things that we experience with extended family, but some of the things that would send me into huge emotional upheaval, like I can just blink an eye at basically today, because it's, it doesn't affect me anymore because we're close, we're intimate.
We're intimate, and we've been able to work through, and it really is, to be fair, getting down to the root causes of some of the whys behind. So those have been things that we've learned over the years, but also really done a deep dive and learned through coaching. And how
with ourselves, it's a couple, but it's also learning about ourselves individually.
Individually and as a couple.
So it's kind of a double-headed journey if you will. When you were saying the why behind it, you mean the why of why we would get triggered,
Right.
of why we
Right.
had such emotional
Right.
upheaval with certain things. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just a couple of indicators, a few that we have.
Is there any others? I'm just trying to think. Did we miss anything?
Well, do you feel lonely a lot? Do you feel like you're unheard, you're unseen?
That's a big one because, again, it's really tricky because, yes, your partner cannot be seeing you, but at least for me, I had to learn to be seen, and I still have to learn that sometimes. Like, it's someone, like, from my perspective, it's more of the passive aggressive where you want them to know. It's like that whole, it's part of that whole codependent thing where you want them to know without expressing. So it's again kind of a double-edged sword.
It is not a godlike. You cannot be seen and be known and be heard like you're supposed to by our Father in heaven. I mean, that's just, you never can.
And yes, your spouse can learn to be more aware, but also it's like a double-edged sword of them learning to be in tune, but you also learning how to tune them in or how to express.
So I don't want to confuse, because we're talking about, emotional intimacy.
Yeah.
So I would just say, if you do feel unseen, unheard by your spouse or something, that still is an indicator of emotional
lack of
emotional intimacy.
Yes.
Right? Because even though, even though you still struggle with feeling seen or heard, things like that, you still are able to get that through your Heavenly Father.
Right.
But that's not affecting, your relationship as much.
With you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So just like, I think what you're trying to say is emotional intimacy isn't going to fix you never feeling unseen or unheard. Like, there are times I still struggle with that when things are busy, when we don't have physical time with each other, like just the time aspect of life, we're just spread so thin. So I can feel unseen still, but that doesn't mean I put it all on him.
Right.
And it doesn't mean, I think you were saying it doesn't affect our relationship because I'm learning that I can't get all my seenness from you. And when I don't get my seenness from you, it doesn't, it's good. Not like the devastation because you're not my only source. Right. My main source is from God.
That's good.
Again, that's kind of going into individual.
So maybe I should say, so you're always gonna, at times, if you struggle with feeling unseen or unheard or things like that already, you're always gonna struggle through those things at some points and times. Ups and downs and things like that. But when they do, like Joanna said, when they do, do you project it onto your spouse?
Yeah, is it devastating?
Is it a separating thing?
And is it even all the time? Because I guess that would be another indicator.
So, those are the quick ones that just came to mind now. But really, are those things in your marriage? I mean, obviously, I guess some of the really, really obvious ones are you screaming and yelling at each other? I mean, that just really is a very quote unquote obvious one. But truly, I mean, those things happen. And so if you do find yourself in a pattern of yelling or really being just real angry, I mean, that just all the time, then, I mean, again, seek some help with that, because there is some help with that. I mean, we were there in at times. We were there.
We wouldn't get to the anger, fight part often, but
sometimes we would. Sure.
When they were fights, they were big and they were dramatic.
Yeah. So.
And it's not to say that once you start, you won't have any fights. There is a healthy form of communication, but I think you're saying if you're just
you're able to work
odds,
through it. Yeah. So anyway, that's probably good for now, but. Truly just really want to again offer and let you guys know, or friends or anybody, that we're available to walk with you or your friend or anyone you know, acquaintance that just needs a little bit of a leg up, right?
Yeah.
And so drop us a line, tell us what's going on, or just share your comments, and we appreciate those very much. The How Sharon, and
or even the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. That's great. Or following us if you're on Instagram or Facebook. We really, really appreciate it.
Really do. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you.